subscribe, and, you know, like the video. It's also crazy because Trump literally earlier today came out,
Mr. President,
and very publicly took ownership over it. Okay. So there's no element of secrecy here. There's no like people don't know if this is real or not. Or what am I saying? People know that this is real. Like, this is something that Trump did. Okay. And it's insane that he is like he's openly flaunting it. Okay. I'm sorry. This is not normal. Okay. Remember when I said there is no country on the planet where the leadership is this out and about with their corruption? Like, I'm Turkish. Okay. I'm Turkish. I'm a Turkish man. I've seen Erdogan. I've seen what he has done. Oh, by the way, Turkey is at the table again. Ankara is at the table. Ankara is the table. There's a NATO summit happening in Turkey. Trump is going to it. We'll get to that in a little bit. But what I was going to say about Turkey is like, Erdogan is an unbelievably corrupt tyrant. Okay. So was Vladimir Putin, right? He oversees this kleptocracy. But there is a level of discretion that these tin pot dictators and petty tyrants engage in, where there is like money exchanging hands, and it filters to their family members, but they don't do it so out in, they don't do it so openly, so flagrantly. Donald Trump has done away with that, where what's unique about it is he doesn't even feel the need to hide his corruption. He doesn't feel the need to hide his corruption at all. And I find that so strange because, look, as Americans, we fancy ourselves to be real revolutionaries, carrying on the spirit of 1776. But it's not a secret that in most circumstances, we're very servile. Let's be real. We've taken a lot of pain and a lot of punishment and a lot of inconsistency, inequality, a lot of injustice, and we find ways to adapt to it. We find ways to say this is normal. This is normal. It's fine. No alternative is good. The alternatives are terrifying and far worse, right? I'm not talking about Donald Trump openly abusing FIFA right now. I'm talking about something beyond that. I'm talking specifically about his open corruption with his cryptocurrency fund, with his insider trading. It is very interesting to see how the rest of the world views what Trump is doing versus how Americans view it, where they're like, this is our molester. But at least this time, I thought your analysis was much more careful when Biden was president. Does it make your job harder? Like, you can only do so much analysis when everything is so blatant and out in the open? Wait, what? No, I mean, there is probably a lot easier for me to explain it to people because it's undeniable. He just says it like it is, good or bad. Like, there is a continuation of American imperialism, for example, from the Biden administration, and Trump 1 to Biden to Trump 2, a continuation that existed between George W. Bush to Barack Obama before Trump 1. It was a lot harder to explain certain concepts to Americans and the rest of the world back then because there was an element of discretion. There was an element of propaganda. There was an element of decorum that sheltered people from seeing the truth. That's gone. Donald Trump just says it. He'll be like, I'm going to Venezuela because I want the oil. I'm going to suck the oil out of the world. Okay? That's why I'm doing it. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm doing a blockade on Cuba because I want to punish the Cuban people because their economy is bad. Okay? That is unique. That is new, right? Guys, I'm going to talk about Graham Plattner in a second. Okay? It just dropped. It just dropped a minute ago. Please. We'll go through it. Can I just finish my thought? Jesus Christ. Everyone is like, dude, you have to get it on the Graham Plattner shit right now. I will. Be still. Feed the baby now. Goo goo gaga. Baby need new information. Baby need breaking news. Holy shit. Anyway, this level of ownership, this level of taking ownership over the flagrant corruption is not going to be received positively by the rest of the world, I think. And it shouldn't.
And I want to congratulate you on your historic leadership.
I gotta pee.
The document hanging on that wall just turned 250 years old, as did the nation that it created. And the bell that you just rang on the Resolute desk, I believe, heralds in that the next 250 years will be even greater than the first 250.
You mean the bell that I'm not giving back?
That
I am not giving back.
I think everyone knew you were going to keep the bell. And on behalf of all Americans, thank you for getting rid of that ridiculous red card. This is his.
That was interesting.
It was spectacular. There was a reason the FIFA trophy sat here for as long as it did.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.
Please.
I wanted to ask you, can you describe your phone call with Gianni Infantino about the red card? And Belgium is appealing the decision. What's your reaction?
You're asking me about the whole soccer thing? So, yeah, I did. I spoke to Johnny, who's highly respected, who's produced the most successful World Cup in history by, they say, 4 times. This isn't just a success. I actually said, Johnny, we've got all these games. Each one is turning out to be a Super Bowl. And we have all these games. You know, when you think of it, every game is like a Super Bowl. Yes, I watched last night. What a game that was with Mexico and England. I mean, 2 countries, I don't know the players, although I think Kane is a great player. See, I played golf with him, and I like him a lot. He's a good golfer. But he's really great. But I watched, and no reason for me to watch, and you couldn't take your eyes off the game. Because I said, Johnny, you know, you have all these games, because they added games, in a country where really we don't, it's not our main sport, to put it mildly.
He's a great golfer.
4 times more successful. He told me last night, the numbers are 4 times greater. They think 50 or 60 million people are going to be watching the game.
Yeah, when it's trans women in sports, it's unfair. When it's a boss call for a favor, it's all good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Integrity.
Game tonight. I mean, you know, this is getting to be Super Bowl numbers. But you have a game tonight, and they think they're projecting a minimum of 50 million people watching a game. We call it soccer. It's called football, I guess, but we can't really call it football because it gets there's a little confusion. So, yeah, you call it soccer. We're the only ones that do that, but we have football. And football's great. But I've never seen anything like it. So I saw the play, and I'm a person that loves sports and was a good athlete. And I understand sports really well, really well. And that wasn't a foul. That wasn't even an infraction. That was 2 guys running full speed that happened to crash into each other. You can't take your foot and properly place it on somebody else's foot when you're going, no, these were 2 great athletes that got tangled up, and this referee, who's a little bit suspect.
Hamas! The referee was Hamas. Did you see the Platter allegations? They're bad? No, I haven't seen them yet. I'm currently covering the Donald Trump molesting international football. No, I know. Oh my God, Michael from Pennsylvania. Yes, I have it right here. I have it. We're gonna get to it in a second. Once we're done with this story.
If you check his past, I don't want to say that because I don't like to create controversy.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You love creating controversy. What do you mean? He's I don't like to just create controversy, but very checkered past. They're saying the referee was Joe Biden. I'll say it. Joe Biden was the referee of this beautiful sport. Biden appointee.
But very suspect. If you'd like, I'll provide you with the past. He made a call that nobody could believe. You know, even people on the other side, they say, oh, we got lucky. Wow, and it's very interesting. They say they don't show them in slow motion. And I never realized that. I never heard of that before. That they're not allowed to review in slow motion because it's so different. Because you'll take 1 little quarter of a second and you'll see that a hand is touching a neck or you'll see something. Whereas when you see it in fast motion, it will look like 2 guys collided, which is really what happened. They got sort of entangled. He didn't do anything wrong, and he's our best player or one of our best players, a very vital player. And he gave him a red card. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't think it meant much. then I started hearing that that means he can't play in the next game, at least in the next game. I said, boy, that's a big, you know, if it happened to...
Dude, has this ever happened? Like, it's kind of... Dude, this is literally like shit that you read in history books. I know the stakes are technically lower because it's like, okay, at the end of the day, we're talking about a soccer game, right? But like, this is straight up like a king. This is what you read in history books about how a king would be like, well, I don't like the outcome of this jousting event, so I declare the victor someone else. Like literally, that's no 1962 is not a decent comparison because like you're talking about money being exchanged in private. The difference here is Trump is going on the main stage and saying like, yeah, I made a call. What are you gonna do about it? Do you see what I mean? This is literally like a Roman dictator coming out and just being like, you know what? I've decided you didn't win. The gladiator didn't win. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not the corruption that is unique, even though the type of corruption is unique. But what's also unique is the public nature of it, where he is not just being corrupt, but he's also celebrating it. He's flaunting it.